And the richer the celebrity is who puts out the hair care line, we feel way more entitled to say, why would I spend my money with somebody who is already so filthy rich? I want to start today with a question. When a new hair care line has been launched by a Black female celebrity, do you automatically have the thought, celebrity cash grab? It's a phrase that's been going around maybe in the past year or two. This whole thing about a cash grab, I realize it's on my heart. And so I want to talk today about why I don't believe that this growing ease that we have as a community in using this phrase is either good for us on a community level, nor on an individual and personal level. I first noticed this phrase when Tia Mowry launched her line, and there was just a slew of videos talking about the fact that she has type 3 hair and dared to launch a line that was aimed at women with type 4 hair. As I watched the videos, I recognized that I was feeling uncomfortable about the tone and the vibe, but I couldn't pinpoint it. And then after it passed, it left my mind and I wasn't paying any attention to it. And then recently, we've had 2 launches back to back. Beyonce's Cecred and Rihanna's Fenty hairline. And when I recognized the reactions that they were getting online to the announcements of these launches, it became very clear to me as to what was making me very, very uncomfortable. The phrase celebrity cash grab is usually said with some amount of disgust, and I recognize that it neither comes from nor goes towards a place of adding any sort of a loving vibe to our community as Black women. Instead, it's adding to the division that is already there about so many issues dealing with hair. I'm going to ask you to hear me out. I'm going to make 3 main points, and at the end, I hope to propose why a slightly different approach to these celebrity hair care lines can actually benefit us on a personal level and not just as a community. So the first thing I want us to discuss is, what does it mean? What does the term cash grab mean in a general sense? I want to actually read the definition that I have written because I worded it as best as I could understand the dynamic of what's going on. A cash grab happens when a company has scouted out a loophole of desire, not a need, but a desire that people have, and have created a product with a certain amount of hype to it that people will rush out to spend their money on. So that's generally what I believe we mean when we say cash grab. So when I think of a cash grab, the company that comes to my mind first and foremost is Apple with the iPhone. I'm going to tell you right now, I am an Android user, have always been, and have no regrets about it. Apple has cornered the market on consumer psychology. From the beginning of their business model, they lined it up so that they don't even have to get us excited anymore. They did that work up front. We line up for the latest iPhone because we want to stay on top of our tech game. So we see what Apple does. We know what Apple does, but we do not ever call it a cash grab. And even if we understand it as a cash grab, we never complain about it. All right, so let's get now more into the topic at hand. What do we mean when we say celebrity cash grab? I have my definition written right here, and I want to read it word for word. I believe we mean that a black female celebrity has chosen to abuse our clear desire to have healthy hair care products, especially for type 4 hair, by developing a line that will not actually meet our needs, and at the base, they just want to make money. So let's unpack this assumption. So my first question is, do you truly believe that a black woman would create a hair care line that would damage our hair on purpose? I think most of us would agree that the answer to that question is no, they wouldn't. Why do we know that they wouldn't? It's because all of us as black women, especially women over the age of 30, have one experience in common. Having our hair taken care of as a child was unpleasant in one way or another. That's a common memory that we all share. Detangling for sure, getting a relaxer before we're ready, hot combs that burnt our ears, and the list goes on. Instead of it being a cash grab, isn't it actually more likely that, just like all of us, they've been dreaming of, hair care lines that would have been around when they were children, and now that they have the means to make it happen, they're like, oh yes, I want to try to see if I can make a good one. Because you see, we choose how to interpret people's actions. We can either be seeing through eyes of pure positivity, or even just purity, or even good intention, or we can be choosing to see people's intentions as negative. That choice is up to us. So the second question I want to ask is, how angry were you when you tried a celebrity hair care line and it disappointed you? How angry were you about that disappointment? And then on a deeper level, did your disappointment with that celebrity's hair care line, or maybe you've tried more than one, then make you sort of expect to be disappointed by all celebrity hair care lines? All of that is fully understandable to me. But right here is where, for me, I have a disconnect with the jump that we make. How did the disappointing lines take such a huge jump to now being called a cash grab? Because from what I've seen, there's usually at least one product in all these celebrity hair care lines that people agree has turned out to be a very good product. For example, the Pattern Deep Conditioner by Tracee Ellis Ross seems to have become very, very much of a favorite among lots of people. I'm going to take it from the first part of that definition again, and I want to read it. Celebrity cash grab means that a black female celebrity has chosen to abuse our clear desire to have healthy hair care products, especially for type 4 hair. If we look at that, it's not a straight line from feeling disappointed to feeling abused. There's no straight line that connects those two things, at least not in my mind. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please click the like button down below. Thank you so much. Hopefully it's clear by now that a lot of what I'm saying in this video is really food for thought for us, for you, and for me. So the last point, the third and last point that I want to make, is centered around the statement that the part of something being a cash grab, where people are saying they're only making these products because they want to make money. They don't actually care about Black women's hair. And the richer the celebrity is who puts out the hair care line, we feel way more entitled to say, why would I spend my money with somebody who is already so filthy rich? In addressing that point, I want to step to the side just a little to sort of emphasize what I'm going to say next. We all love Amazon. I shop on Amazon. Nothing is going to stop me from shopping on Amazon. And most of us on here shop on Amazon all the time. However, I never allow myself to forget that every time I say place my order on Amazon, the person who is ultimately benefiting financially the most from me clicking that button and spending my money is Jeff Bezos. I don't allow it to drive me crazy, but I stay in that land of reality about how I'm spending my money. In reality, we spend our money, our precious money, every day with unknown millionaires and billionaires. And we don't take it personally. Let's say, for example, have you met Mr. or Mrs. Target? Have you met Mr. or Mrs. Dove? Have you met Mr. or Mrs. Dyson, the blow dryer? You get my point. This is where I think we're unknowingly hurting ourselves as individuals. When we think about where we spend our money, it's like casting a vote about the kind of world we want to live in. So choosing not to support a female Black-owned business simply and only because she is already wealthy from other avenues sends a subconscious signal to our own brain that success as a Black woman should have limits and doesn't require further support. I just think it's more empowering to celebrate and uplift each other's achievements, no matter how big or small, whether we're just starting out in business or we're already a billionaire. I truly believe that we can find a feeling of personal satisfaction by channeling some of that enthusiasm towards celebrities who look like us and have become entrepreneurs by almost celebrating their success as our own. Now let me be clear. Am I saying we need to be running out and buying these celebrity hair care lines? Absolutely not. Especially not now, when a lot of us have personal finances that we have been having to tighten up our savings and really check ourselves on what we're spending our money on. That is not at all the point of this video. What I'm really addressing is how our approach is not really benefiting us. See, okay, I'm a firm believer that what you put out into the world, you're going to get back. So when we put out a lot of this almost disgust with these women, regardless of whether we're thinking that they're being greedy or not, it clouds our own energy. And I don't see it as being necessary, because most of the lines have produced at least one or two products that people have fallen in love with. So from my little corner of the world, I suppose what I really wish is that we would stop using that phrase, celebrity cash grab. It's got too many negative connotations, and it's not doing any of us any good, really. For me, it's kind of like, okay, a celebrity has put out a hair care line. We can look, we can be curious, we can choose to support by purchasing, or we can look, we can be like, no, and not buy. But what we don't need to do is come on these internet streets and be so disdainful and disrespectful when we talk about them or talk about their products, especially because we can remind ourselves that every single one of these women have something in common with us. And that is that as a child, they have a memory of having their hair done that was very unpleasant. I don't have to say this is all just my opinion. Feel free to comment and share your thoughts down below. I actually have to confess that, because of all of this and how it just made me feel so tight in my chest, for the very first time, I went on the Fenty site, and on my way to me is the styler, because I am not a product junkie, and that's one of the products I do need right now. And the line intrigues me because it talks about this special ingredient that helps to repair hair. I'm in menopause. My hair can use all the reparative ingredients that it can come across. And then for the very first time, I am so late. But for the first time, I bought a Fenty lipstick. So I'm looking forward to that package coming to me. I wanted to sit down and make this video as food for thought and to encourage us as a community and as individuals to uplift each other, to be more gentle even when we want to criticize each other. There's a famous quote by Malcolm X: the most disrespected, unprotected, neglected person in America is the Black woman. And I would actually extend that to say in the world. And so because of that, it's just crucial. It's kind of a little bit crucial that we have each other's backs. Thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing your thoughts down below. And I always like to say it's always worth it to take the time to be kind to your mind. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video.